Can I ask how much money you get from the government?
Me? Or in general, the organization?
Yeah.
Pennies and dimes. Just to be able to have the shelter program, we're averaging about $40 per head per night.
So where does the rest come from?
Private donations, people that believe in the mission that we have here, have seen it, experienced it. Alumni like myself, I make contributions to the Midnight Mission because I know what it did for me. And from fundraising events, and which is the sad part, because I just ended up finding out through our CEO that we are getting $40 per person per head, when hotels are getting $400 per person per night, right?
That's crazy.
Just to be able to get someone off the streets and into a hotel room.
Yeah.
Right. And that's with barely offering any services compared to what we're offering here.
Well, the LA City just buys up hotels that they place homeless people into, but they do nothing about it.
That's all they do, just get people into the hotel. That's it.
And what happens is it becomes a drug addict place, and prostitution and abuse, and horrible.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a
But
mess.
see, and that's the difference, the black and white difference right here, right? Is the services that we're offering here for anybody in the Skid Row community, compared to the services being offered in a hotel where it's a temporary solution, right? We're more looking at the long term. Our goal as an organization is to put ourselves out of business.
Yeah.
And that's something that you don't really hear as much, right?
Yeah.
But it makes sense. If we're out of business, that means that there's no more issues with homelessness.
You're probably the only nonprofit that would say that and actually do what you say. Because most nonprofits, as we know, live off of government funding, and they want to keep getting that funding. So it is a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
You solve the problem, you die, but then these people who work for you get fired and have to find a new job. So.
And that is the reason why I love this organization even more personally. Not because, they helped me, but because they also showed me by their example.
Yeah.
Right? And now I get to do that for the next person. Right? Whether or not they get it is out of my control.
Yeah.
Right? But all I can do is at least be here so that if they do fall, I can be there to give them a hand up. Mm-hmm. And that is one of my favorite catchphrases that we have here, is that we don't do handouts, we do hand ups. Right? We want to be able to help guide you, not just say, here you go. And you see that a lot. Like, it's funny. I was just looking at this on Saturday because I was here at work. A group of religious folk just passing out clothing and bananas and water. And I'm looking at them, and it's just kind of like, but what now after that?
Yeah.
That's the question that comes to my mind, right? And so even when I'm off the clock and walking around Los Angeles, I have flyers with me that shows the services here. There's a map that a coworker of mine created that shows all of the services in Skid Row, but LA County helped out with extending that even more, where now it's on Google Maps, where you can see all of the resources in the greater Los Angeles area. And all you have to do is scan a QR code, which everyone in our street still gets phones, right? And you get to find out where your nearest resources is. If we can avoid you coming to Skid Row for any resources, that'd be great. Because here's the harsh reality. Once you come into Skid Row, it's hard to get out, right? But if we can find you resources outside of the Skid Row area, that's a good start for you to be able to just go from there, right? And when you get yourself situated, if you need to stop by here for a split second and be able to, get vouchers to get an ID, or to get connected to some education or job placement, then so be it, But we don't want to add in more here to Skid Row. And so I always encourage people, use this map, right? I'll even, like, if people do come to Skid Row, I'll use my business card as a ticket meal, right? Come find me and I'll get you a plate free of charge, right? Because I want to make sure that people know where the services are and where they can get help.